going to do the quote unquote thing, a very inspirational song. I want to quote a few of the lyrics. Quote, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Well, that part right there that starts the song, that is a furious hook right there. They'll get you in hook, line, and sinker. Then the lyrics kick in, ain't got nothing left to prove. Man, I'm finally free. Damn, it feels good to be me. You're only shining when you act yourself. Wish I could have learned that before I went through hell. That's something that everybody, a lot of people, including myself, have to learn over and over and over again. Past generations, present generations, future generations having to relearn this lesson, because these lines, this self-affirmation, the self-worth comes from within, but to really fully accept that, to make it part of your authentic being, it has to come from the heart. It comes from an emotional center. It comes from the heart, not the intellect. The intellect can only do so much, but it just has to come from here. And it seems like he's at that place now. Andy Grammer, when he worked on this album, before he worked on this album, he had established a reputation as a traveling troubadour. And when COVID hit, he was sidelined and indulged in, well, he got into an era, a period of intense introspection, and it was like, I've been hiding behind a smoke screen. I've been hiding behind a mask. But if I reveal my true self, if I reveal my authenticity, if I become authentic, I'll be ridiculed. I won't be accepted. I won't fit into the cultural norms anymore. But somehow he got past that. Wrote this song. He wrote this record with Grant Phillip Michael. Sam Hollander co-wrote this record too. Sam Hollander, he wrote a song for Panic at the Disco. Hey, look, Ma, I made it. He co-wrote that. The song was produced by John Levine, and he was one of Andy Grammer's producers. And he's worked with a lot of people. He co-wrote Joe Levine. He wrote, John Levine, rather, Jon. He co-wrote Dia Lupa's, D-U-A, I always have a problem with that name, that British singer, Dia Lupa's Blow Your Mind. And he produced another inspirational song that you might remember, one of those inspirational anthems, Fight Song by Rachel Platten. Remember that from back in 2015. And his first album, I think, didn't I already mention this? I don't think I did. I've been jumping all over the place. Actually, I even forgot to introduce myself. And, well, here's the deal. Andy Grammer's at number 13 on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. So let's get that established. At number 13, up 7 from number 20, Andy Grammer, Damn, It Feels Good to Be Me. I hope YouTube doesn't mind me using the D word because, well, that's the name of the song, and I'm not making that up. So at number 13, he's no stranger to my fantasy playlist. Keep Your Head Up was one that he did back in 2011, and then there was Honey, I'm Good, and several others that he's done over the past, my goodness, over the past 10 years now. Andy Grammer. I mean, this song is an elixir. Absolutely an elixir. If you're overwhelmed by other people's opinions and just feel bad about yourself, give a listen to this song because it has the potential. It has the potential to purge the negativity from within you. And that song's got that kind of power to it. Grew up listening to the Beatles. He listened to the Beatles in his dad's car. Later on, he got into Billy Joel and Paul Simon. John Mayer, got into John Mayer. And I could see some comparisons between John Mayer and Andy Grammer. If you're into now, if you never heard of Andy Grammer, but if you like John Mayer, if you like, say, Coldplay, trying to think of somebody else who fits that genre. Well, if you're into them, you might like Andy Grammer. He's come up with some fine records over the past 10 years. And he later became a big admirer of Ryan Tedder. Ryan Tedder of One Republic, who's become a big producer over the past, 10, 15 years or so. And Michael Moore, big admirer of Michael Moore, rapper, singer Michael Moore. He performed on the streets for 3 years. He was from Los Angeles, moved to New York, and moved back to Los Angeles, and was performing out on the streets, busking for about 3 years before he got to his first album. By the way, he wrote 100 songs for his first album. wrote 100. Talking about being prolific. But the first 50 of them, he wrote trying to get a hit. Sometimes you see, here's the thing about creativity and about writing. I know you probably heard this a million times. Sometimes you just got to write just tons and tons and tons of material that are just maybe mediocre or that is so-so to get to that nugget, to get to that golden nugget, to get to that hit. He got to that hit. Keep your head up. That was his first big one, I do believe, back about 2011, 10 or 11 years ago. So we're at number 13 on my fantasy playlist, and got to buzz this one up. Oh, the radio formats for this record. This is a mass appeal record. And I know I used the word inspirational so many times. I'm trying to come up with another. I should have checked the thesaurus before I did this video. But the bottom line is, this is a mass appeal record with its inspiration, with its feel-good vibe. Pop, alternative. Well, maybe not alternative. Might be a little too easy listening for alternative. Let's do this again. Pop, adult alternative. Adult contemporary, adult top 40. In England, if you can't play it on BBC Radio 1, put it on BBC Radio 2. Number 13 on my fantasy playlist, Andy Grammer. Damn, it feels good to be me. It's a buzzworthy record on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. Dean Kirk signing off. Take care.